It's a special case because it's not for, usually it's given to practicing architects. It has been given before, I think, to Phyllis Lambert, for example, of the CCA. But yes, I'm kind of very honored. I'm overwhelmed by it, really. And I suppose the one thing I could say, in terms of what I've done with my life, is I once, at a certain moment in life, I did practice architecture, and but I finally moved out of that into, as you said, to writing and to teaching and so on. And in a way, I think I've done all those things as if I was always an architect. I mean, I think that the virtue of my writing, in a way, ultimately is that I write with the mind of an architect. I think that has been a big issue. Well, I mean, mainly I think, that with the globalization and with a global economy and the rise of neoliberalism, everything has become very abstract, and the pursuit of money for no other reason except to make it as fast as possible and as much as possible has become such a dominant force in the society, and ever since the 1970s. And I think it's really dark, all of that. I think that, as a matter of fact, I think, of course, there were many problems with the Soviet Union, but the fall of the Soviet Union unbalanced everything. There is the famous Margaret Thatcher remark, "There is no alternative." That has been a kind of disaster, I think. And therefore, I think this question of small political units, city-states and yes, small units, small democracies, are the one hope that we have. Venice, Italy is a paradigm of city-states, but also, of course, other Mediterranean countries like Spain, for example. The quality of Spanish architecture is to do with the power of the provincial city in Spain after the death of Franco. Well, Hannah Arendt has been important for me because she made me realize for the first time what is the difference between architecture and building. Her book, The Human Condition, doesn't have anything to say directly about architecture, but this distinction she draws between work and labor has been fundamental for me. And I suppose the simplest way to say it is that, as she says it, work is the production of something which is not intended for consumption, and is to compensate in a way, or to balance out the mortality of the species. And labor is the production of that which is for consumption. And so this opposition between the idea of stasis, of a certain kind of permanence, and the idea of process, I think they're fundamental notions, and they've shaped me. Her ideas in this respect have been a big influence.